Hi, y'all. It's Melissa Ushaka from the Access team, and I'm here today to talk to you about our upcoming milestone and the items that we'll be working on. So the first is to add group webhooks for subgroups. If you remember, over the past 2 milestones, we've been working to add webhooks for members and members list for groups. And this is to help some customers that today are running API calls to learn about events that happen on their groups to trigger automation to basically set custom behavior that they want to happen. So instead of customers calling our API continuously, we're building webhooks to make the integration a lot easier. That helps customers not have to build their own custom logic to basically make multiple API calls. And it helps also reduce load on their infrastructure if they'll self-manage, or our SaaS instance if the customers are SaaS. So for this specific webhook, we're going to emit events whenever subgroups are created, deleted, and updated. And this will be used because some of our customers want to basically be sure that specific settings are set in specific ways on their groups. So they cycle through subgroups and make sure that when they're created, they have the proper settings. So this will help them. Instead of having to make multiple API calls, they'll just listen to for the group webhook. The next item that I wanted to talk about is that you may have noticed the improved experience for the members list. It looks like this. We have columns and more descriptive language and filtering. We're going to bring that same experience to the project list and wrap up that work stream of basically improving the experience for member management. I'm super excited to be doing this for the projects because we received really good feedback for the group list. And of course, everyone's question was, when is it coming to projects? Well, it's in this milestone. The next item that, if you notice, is a pretty, it's opened a while ago and it actually has 128 votes, is to give users the ability to further define the scope for a PAT when they create it. So today, when you create a PAT, it basically by default has access to whatever that user has access to, which is problematic for some customers because they want to be able to create very granularly scoped tokens just to make it more secure. If that token were to become compromised, the blast radius is smaller, right? That's not possible today. And aside from that, it also will enable us to work with the compliance team to bring the credential inventory to SaaS, because basically what this work stream will unblock, and there's a couple of other issues, but this is just the beginning, right, of that that journey, is that we are envisioning the credential inventory to basically work for SaaS specifically, to work more on the basis of not revoking the token, but removing items from its scope. So for example, if I have a top level group and I would like to be able to see any tokens that have my group in scope, and then be able to remove my group from the scope of a token if I don't want that token to be able to access my group. So being able to, add and remove items in a scope of a token is the first step, again, to that experience. So super excited to be working on this issue. And the last item I want to highlight is this POC for cascading settings. So this is something that we were working on 13.8, but unfortunately because of the holidays, it was a little bit harder to make traction on this. We do have a POC and basically an MR that we need to just talk about internally as a group. But in 13.9, we will be having launching the first iteration of this, which will be to prove this concept up with the delayed project deletion as the setting that we're able to cascade all the way from the instance down to all groups, lock it if needed. So it's a exciting change because today there's no consistency about this behavior. So each team has to build their own rules, and that leads to a confusing end user experience. So that's it for the 13.9 release. I'll link the planning issue to this video, and if you have any questions, just feel free to poke in there and ask. Thank you.